Hey you guys, my name is Tiffany. For those of you who are new, welcome and thank you for tuning into my channel. For those of you who aren't new, thank you for coming back and sticking it in there with me. But today, you guys, we're going to talk about my condition. So those of you who don't know my condition, I have lupus. So lupus is an autoimmune disease. Auto means self and immune means like your body. So my body attacks itself. So what do you mean, Tiff, your body attacks itself? My body attacks itself meaning we have red blood cells and white blood cells. The red ones are good ones, and it's like they fight each other. And the white blood cells are good one. They fight off the bad blood cells, which I don't have any good blood cells. So they attack each other, and they're just like but yeah, so there can be parts of the year when I'm doing great and I'm doing fine and everybody's like, she don't look sick. Yeah. I didn't know you had to look sick to be sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know that's how this thing worked, but obviously that's how it goes. So yeah, anyway, so let me just back up. So I was diagnosed in 2010. I had been going through the motions for about 3 to 4 years before I was actually given a diagnosis. I was told it was rheumatoid arthritis. I was told, oh, you have MS. Oh, you have just regular arthritis. Oh, nothing's wrong. Oh, you're making this up. Like, I was told a whole lot of crap. And I'm just like in disbelief because I'm like, yeah, why would I make pain up? Like, who wants to be in pain? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. However, I got diagnosed when I was 21. I am now 26. No, wait. Dang, I just had a birthday. Sorry, I'm 27. The days just go by. I don't even know. But anyway, so I'm 27 now. And yeah, so I was diagnosed when I was 18. I had my son early, so I was in college at 18, and I had to come back home. So what happened was, one day I was in college and I just was not feeling well. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I called my mom. I was like, Mom, like, I do not feel good. So we were like Googling the symptoms. Of course you're going to Google because everybody does. But we're Googling the symptoms, and my mom said, okay, I found a doctor that I think maybe can help you, but you have to come home. So I came home like I do every weekend, and I think this was like fall break or something. So I went up there to go see this doctor, and the doctor said, can't find anything that's wrong with you. So I'm like, okay, wow. So I drove all the way up here to have no diagnosis. So nevertheless, I was so disappointed. So fast forward, I came back home for good to be with my son, and we moved to Richmond, Virginia. And we lived in Richmond for maybe a year, but I got sick again. And I had what we call flares. So it was a really bad one. I had a fever. I was like, I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was having skin outbreaks. I just did not know what in the world was going on with me. So I went to another doctor. Another doctor said, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's wrong. Maybe it's fibromyalgia. So boom, I got a diagnosis. So I ran with that. Okay, it's fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is when you have muscle pain and you can't specifically touch where it hurts, but it's like a all over kind of pain. So yeah. So I went with that, and so they, said take care of yourself, blah, blah, blah. So I did. But then I had another flare. And this time, this flare was really, really, really bad. And I could not walk. I could barely talk. I had a fever, and I couldn't take care of my son. I called my mom. I said, Mom, I need you to come get me. And I laid on my couch until she literally could come and get me. So she lived in Maryland. So that was about a 2.5 hour drive to get me. So I'm laying on the couch. My son is at the daycare because he was 2 No, wait. He was about 3 at the time, 3 or 4. And yeah, so she came and got me. She took me straight to Hopkins, and I was there, and the doctor said you have what's called lupus. They took all these tests and did all this blood work and came back with the diagnosis of I have lupus. Okay, so what is that? So I will tell you the correct answer. So lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease that can damage any part of the body, skin, joints, and or organs inside the body. Chronic means that the signs and symptoms tend to last longer than 6 weeks, often many years. So yes, so that is what lupus is, and I can tell you what parts of the body that it attacks with me. So lupus sometimes attacks, well, not sometimes, it attacks my joints. So any joint on my body, it attacks, like my hands, my legs, my knees. Like, it attacks them so bad to the point where sometimes I can't walk. When I first got diagnosed, I had what's called pleurisy, so that's like fluid of the heart. So yeah, I had that, and it feels like an elephant is sitting on your chest. Like, it's that heavy, like you cannot breathe, and it's like you're like yeah, so it's like really, really, really bad. It's the probably most uncomfortable thing that I've felt. Yeah, so yeah, it can attack your heart, your lungs, your eyes, like any vital organs. It can definitely attack. It can also attack the skin. I had like little lesions on my body where and I actually got a tattoo to cover up one because it was just so bad, and I was just like so depressed, and it was a lot for me to go through at 21. I mean, I'm like, you know, most 21-year-olds, they're partying and drinking and living their life up. Well, yeah, not me. I was sick. I had lost a lot of weight, like a lot of weight. If I can find some pictures, I'll like put it in there to compare. But yeah, I lost a whole lot of weight. I mean, I was excited because it was just like, oh my God, I can fit back into my old clothes. But yeah, it was sad and devastating and depressing because I couldn't work. So since I turned 16 and I had my son, all I did was work. Like, you know, I was a mom, but that's what I knew to do because I had to provide for my son. So I worked. Yeah, so I couldn't work. I had to move from my house in Virginia and come home to live with my parents, and they are amazing. Like, I know it took everything for them to take care of a sick child. Like, to have to see your child that's sick, to take care of your child that's sick, to deal with their emotions and yours that's sick. It was just like, I know it was a lot. So Mom, Dad, thank you so much, because I would have made it without you guys. So yeah, so then I you know, got better and was able to go back to work, and I moved out of my parents' house, and yeah, I was good. So then I started having seizures, and my seizures are brought on by pain. So whenever I go into a flare, I'm in excruciating pain to the point where I honestly believe it's worse than childbirth, like hands down. Now, I've had 2 kids, but I think it is worse than childbirth. Like, it is so bad. Like, it makes me tear up just thinking about it. It's just horrible. Like, it's bad. So yeah, some of the other symptoms, you can have mild ulcers. You can be very fatigued. I'm actually currently going through a flare right now, so you guys please bear with me if I keep closing my eyes because I'm just so exhausted. And yeah, you can have like open sores. You heal less quicker. Yeah, so those are just some. Oh, you can have alopecia. You can also have what's called a butterfly rash on your face. So like, if you're out in the sun too long, we're not even supposed to be out in the sun like that, but if you are in the sun, it's highly recommended that you use sunscreen at all times, like around the clock. Whenever you're supposed to use it again, you need to use it again. But yeah, you can get what's called a butterfly rash on your face, and it just looks bad. So yeah, and here's a picture of it. So you guys can see how the rash looks. So yeah, as now in present day, I'm currently going through a flare, like I said before, but my lupus has gotten a lot better. When I was pregnant with my son, I had absolutely no flares with my second son. No flares, like, at all. And I was like so grateful. I was just like praising the gods, because I was just like, thank you so much, because I was so terrified. So terrified. And speaking of my son, when I had my second son, I was considered high risk because I had lupus. So I was like checked often, like all the time. Like I was at the doctors twice a week for 2 different doctors. Like it's that severe, because it can affect the baby as well in womb. I mean, yeah, in your womb. So yeah, I was just like praying, like, please let me have a healthy baby. Please don't let me go into preterm labor. Like all these things can happen to you when you have lupus. So yeah, so he came out fine. He was good, like had no flares. And now, almost 2 years later, I'm going through a flare. So nevertheless, I cannot complain, because I haven't had one in such a long time. It just sucks so bad when you have to go through it, and there's nothing anybody can do. It's nothing anybody can say. It's just what it is. It's, you just have to go through it. So what do I take from all of this? I take from all of this that it's made me so much more humble. Before, I was not that humble. I was like really selfish and self-absorbed, and like it was me. But now I like give back so much to others, because I understand that life is really short, and you just have to deal with the cards you were dealt. That's just what it is. So yeah, having this condition has given me a very humbling experience, where I appreciate much more, and I appreciate life, and I take it at face value, because ultimately, you guys, that's what it is, and that's what it's about. Like, you just have to enjoy life, you know, any possible way you can. And just because a person doesn't look sick doesn't mean that they aren't. They could be trying to put on that smile to hold back the tears that they want to have come through, but they are trying their best. And a lot of people say, oh, Tiff, you're strong, you're this, you're that, you're Superman. And I might be, but I don't look at it like that. I just look at it like I do what I have to do so that my family can have what they need to have. And so that at the end of the day, when I'm long and gone, people will say she was a good person. So if anybody says anything other than that, I beg to differ. But yeah, so people can say she was a good person, she was so humble, you know, like that's what I want for me. Lupus does not have a cure. There's no cure for lupus. This is what it is. Like, there's no cure. You have to deal with it. And for those of you who have lupus and wondering, oh my gosh, well, I want to get married one day. You will. You will. I met my husband on, I think it was our first date, or first or second day. I was like, look, I have lupus. So either you gonna be here or you ain't. And it was so straightforward, but at that point it was so serious, because I had been in some really pretty messed up relationships while trying to figure out what it was. Like, honestly, I got diagnosed in December of 2010. I was diagnosed. I met my husband in October, so maybe it wasn't my first date. I don't know. It was somewhere in the really early part of our relationship, and I was just like, all right, look, this is what it is. And he was just like, yeah, like, I'll stay. Sure. But I don't honestly think he knew what it was. I think he just liked the person I was, and he's like, okay, well, whatever. So then he started Googling and asking questions. It's very important for your spouse or a significant other or whoever you're dating to know, like, everything that can go on, so that they're not caught off guard when it happens. And you have to explain yourself over and over and over again. And it gets frustrating, because you're just like, okay, remember I told you. But yes. But yes, just have hope, have faith. And now we're married, so like, come on. I could be your testimony. You will get married, girl. Don't you worry. And also, for a lot of people that don't know, it affects women, more so African American women, but it also has an effect on men. So I haven't heard a lot of studies about men, but men do have lupus. And like I said, it affects most African American women. Not sure why, but it does. So yeah, you guys, I just want to say, to end my rant or story, lupus is an autoimmune disease. You can't touch it, you can't see it, but we have it. Just because we don't look sick don't mean we aren't. And yeah, just stay close to the ones that you do have, because you never know what's going on with them. Like, a lot of people don't say what's going on or if they have a condition, but a lot of people do, and they're just scared to say it because like I said before, they want to get married, or they want to have kids, or they want to just live life, and I have everybody saying, are you okay? Did you take your medicine? Or do you need some rest? Like, we love you for it, but it's just like, we already feel like less than sometimes. So it's just like, you know, just treat us like normal. Like, just treat us like humans, because we just like you are, you know. You could probably do more stuff than we can, but we know that, and we just don't want to feel incompetent or less than. So just don't put a person down because they have a condition. Don't dumb it down for them. If they do not feel well and they are an experienced loopy like myself, I want to tell you, like, I can't, like, I don't feel good. And loopies, do not push yourself. When you know you need to lay down and your body will talk to you, go lay it down. You ain't gonna miss nothing. You just won't miss anything. So yes, you guys, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, you guys, if you are a loopy friend, go ahead and comment below and let me know, you know, your past experiences, if this has helped you in any kind of way. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.